Those were dark days in the city of Boston. This was way better than the movies. I mean, these were the real guys. It was fascinating to see the cast of characters that came walking through that courtroom door and up onto the witness stand each and every day. It's been a whirlwind, the whole thing, from getting the juror summons to sitting in the room with 300 people and the lawyers walk in with Mr. Bulger, and I see him walk in, and then Judge Casper walks in and reads to us the juror selection process and says it's the U.S. government versus James J. Bulger. I mean, that was like a jaw-dropping, like, are you kidding me? I just couldn't believe it. At first, we were all tremendously relieved that it was over. And at that point in time, I'm sure none of us knew exactly what we were up against when we were about to walk into that room and start deliberating. It was extremely difficult. You know, we had 12 conscientious jurors, and we thoroughly deliberated each and every act and did the best that we could with all the evidence and all the testimony. And when people did switch sides, per se, and have to change their opinion, every single person went down fighting. We had to say yes or no, or guilty or not guilty, or proven or not proven, 70 times in that room. That was not an easy process, and we did fail once, and as everyone knows, that was the Deborah Davis murder. She was murdered, and that is horrible and horrific, and personally I feel badly for the family, as I do for all the murder victims, because no one should have to go through what any of those families had to go through. Mrs. Donahue, her husband, getting murdered, just giving his buddy a ride home from a restaurant. She's had to wait 30 years for justice. Their 3 boys have had to grow up without a dad. Those are the important people in this trial. Those are the victims, and those are the people who matter. The victims and the victims' families were always on our minds, and collectively, we did the best we could to deliver them a verdict. Unfortunately, some of those verdicts were not proven, and I understand that that may not have been what some of them were hoping for, but that has nothing to do with them. It's nothing against them. Their victims, their loved ones, were murdered. We know that. The unfortunate part was, in the end of the day, on some of them, we could just not believe beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Bulger was part of them.